melodies left me in Louisiana where I built my pedigree. In the city on the rock, that be my perfect brother night. Got the gas burning through, now it's time to take a back. Living life, young black entrepreneur. If she flirt with not best believe I'ma do her. If you want me to view her, naked pictures she would message me, telling me things that you wanna do sexually. Nothing more, never be together in the public eye. Keep it cool, I'm just a laid back type of guy. If it's understood, nothing to be talked about. If you realize, don't be afraid to call it out. Think you like to the bullets, keep you sucker free. Real recognize through the bullshit. You can see some people love me for the reason others hate me. Got my middle finger out as I ride 6 years later. It's all inside me, loud and weak, the name niggas in contention. Not the average cookie, me I'm built by design. Let my dogs see you tonight, skyline. It's all deep inside me, it's expensive. Loud and weak, the name niggas in contention. Not the average cookie, me I'm built by design. Let my dogs see you tonight, skyline. Thank you. What's the hustle for if it's not to get richer? Saw the show cause it's like the motion picture. Nothing came easy, every day is in the picture. Saw the show cause it's like the motion picture. What's the hustle for if it's not to get richer? Saw the show cause it's like the motion picture. Nothing came easy, every day is in the picture. Saw the show cause it's like the motion picture. Some niggas goes up while real soldiers stand tall. Out the goals in his life, try to throw curveballs, get out the ball. Something just like very fine, like it's not about a wicked move, about the marathon. The end straight bullet, kill my thoughts in the air. The game is the game, though this life never fails to be fair. So hand to hand the same blood, travel to different cities and they showing that was up. And the bars sipping liquor, it's just how we marinate. Championship mindset, step above, step away. Exercise out when I'm Louisiana born. See the pain in my life, that is in my home. What's the hustle for if it's not to get rid of the all of the dough? Cause it's like a motion picture. Nothing can easy, every day is in that picture. All of the dough, cause it's like a motion picture. What's the hustle for if it's not to get rid of all of the dough? Cause it's like a motion picture.
So let's just get started, man. Why don't we go ahead and just talk about the come up? Tell me how you got started. How did you get into music? How did you even get introduced into the music industry?
Well, I was born and raised in West Dallas.
You're not from LA.
Come on now. In between West Dallas and Oak Cliff, you know what I mean? I kind of ping pong back. And when rap came around, I had already been singing. Like I started trying to sing as a kid, and I was pretty damn good, you know what I mean? Like, probably like most singers, you start out emulating people that you connect to, and I could sound like them and people like to hear me do that. So that's how I started. But when rap came, I'd been sort of a voracious reader as a kid. So when rap came, early 80s, 82, 83, I had stored so many words in my mental Rolodex that I wasn't using the same verbiage as other kids were, and that separated me. That plus the fact that I was really blessed with a really great voice, you know what I mean? Twice, actually. And so when I got started, a lot of really sort of weird circumstances happened and put me in a situation where I connected with a guy named Dr. Rock, who's probably the first guy or one of the first guys who really made hip hop as a thing popular on the radio here in Dallas. And he had been a part of a group called the World Class Wrecking Crew in Los Angeles. They were a DJ-based sort of club group, for lack of a better way of putting it. And he knew Dre, you know. And so we made a group together called the Philly Fresh Crew with another friend of mine named Fresh K from West Dallas. And Rock asked Dre to come down and to produce some beats for us, because Boys in the Hood at that time was kind of a hot street record, and he thought that would help us. Dre came down and thought I was really good, you know, and said, boy, if you were in California, we'd be rich, you know, and asked me to come back, you know, and I said, at first I said no, you know, because I can't leave my guys. They didn't want my guys, you know what I mean? So I said no. And then I was in the 8th grade, just fresh out of dropping out of high. I mean, 18 years old, just fresh high school dropout. My mother wanted to send me to the Army. And so I reconsidered Dre's offer at that point. And jumped on a plane, you know. I had one bag, a few pair of jeans, a basketball, and a couple $100, and I just left.
So most artists will send you a record and they say, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. You tell me you do me, I'm gonna interpret the song the way I would. And then you send me this long list of corrections back. Well, I asked you what you wanted. It's like, this is the funniest thing. I worked on a real famous guy's record. He sent me the record with 2 instructions. Do what you do, Mouse Clay, and did you get your money? Local guy sends me a record. Do what you do. I wanted to do this, this. I get the song, there's none of this in the song. So you gotta know your territory and who you're dealing with. And if you got a good relationship with the engineer, you don't really have to tell him anything because he already knows what you like.
All right, and so Sarah, when you consider taking on a client, how important is their social media reach and their social media activity in putting together a campaign for them? Is that something that you look at?
It is, because usually a lot of people, like, they see PR and it's like really glamorous and they want to like start right off the jump. PR isn't for everybody and it's not necessarily for somebody who's at a beginner level. Something that I look at is someone who does invest time into their PR, into their social media, because that means that they care about their branding and they care about who they are and reaching their fans. Sometimes even though they might not be necessarily effective, the fact that they're trying gives me a reason to possibly want to work with them.
Now, do you understand what I'm saying about using somebody else's drums but making them your own? It's really important to put your fingerprint on your music. You're the creative. Nobody can get into your mind except for you. You're your only billboard. You're your salesperson. You're really truly your own manager. You are the creative. You are everything. So how am I supposed to understand what you're doing if you're using everybody else's stuff? If you're just really dragging and dropping, how am I supposed to know who you are? Signature sound. But it doesn't have to be like, okay, I know a Timbaland beat when I hear a Timbaland beat. It's just a matter of giving yourself an identity, giving yourself an imprint. You don't want to turn around and walk in a room and start dragging and dropping with S1 and you're using S1's kit. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to turn around and go to Dr. Dre and play him Dr. Dre beats. You don't want to sit down with Cardiac and start dragging in Cardiac's kits. How do you turn around and make them dope? I can use all of their kits while working with them and they won't even recognize their own stuff. That's the way you turn around. You start to, The best way I can tell you what it is sound engineering, and Sound Oracle is probably, he's a legend, bro. Yeah.